Good afternoon. Wow. The things that can happen in a 24-hour period is pretty mind-boggling. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster monologue. Well, I'm going to keep the roller coaster down by giving you the good stuff first and then going into what, well, you know how it goes. Wow. Some insane stuff. First off, before I go any further, I want to ask for thoughts and prayers for the families involved in a horrific accident last night at the Ozarks in Missouri. A vehicle known as a duck. It's an amphibious vehicle. It's kind of like half bus truck / half boat. Okay, and you can Google "ride the ducks" if you like, and you'll see pictures of them. And so one in a storm last night capsized with 31 passengers on board, 17 fatalities, 14 injuries, if I'm not mistaken. It's horrifying. Age ranges for the fatalities are from the age of 1 to the age of 70. So please, thoughts and prayers for those families. And I ask that people focus on those thoughts and prayers. Give it a little bit of time before we start pointing fingers, because that happened automatically. As you know, that's the only thing that happens anymore when there's a news story. Automatically, there's no care or compassion. The people that are out there pointing fingers, saying this and that and the other thing, they don't give a damn about the people suffering. All they care about is pushing their viewpoint. So I do ask. I've got my own thoughts about what happened. I don't, but that's all they are. It's just thoughts, because I don't know, I don't know everything. I don't have all the information that I would need to even be accurate. So, but I do have some hunches based on common sense. I can't say common knowledge, but common sense. Anyway, just please, thoughts and prayers to those families. That's absolutely horrifying. Go somewhere with your family for a vacation where you're supposed to be spending family time and having fun, and then have a tragic accident like that. And I think the most compelling statement that I've seen said that just really yanked my heart out was when somebody had made the statement. I don't know if it was a news reporter or if it was somebody I know that just put it in a status, or I don't remember, but it had said that it had mentioned about those that went there with their families to have a good time, spend family time, and have fun, and will be going home with some empty seats. And that just ripped my heart right out of my chest. I don't have words for that pain. I don't think there are words for that pain. So I wanted to put that up right up front, first and foremost. Let me real quick run through what I wanted to make sure I got right yesterday, because I didn't mention it in a timely fashion. But I mentioned again Wednesday, the 25th of July, 2018. Prepper Nurse 1 will be on the show, and we'll be taking call-ins, and it's going to be a good show. We do have a show topic, by the way. The primary show topic then will be EMP, electromagnetic pulse. But I'm sure everything's open. Just phone lines will be open. Call in, ask Prepper Nurse anything you want to ask him. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer 99.9% of those questions. Of course, I can't tell you that he'll answer any question because, you guys all know me, so you can come up with some probably pretty crazy stuff that nobody would want to answer, right? So, anyway, let me go ahead and continue with that. Prepper Nurse 1 will be on the show Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. Show topic will be EMP, and we will be having call-ins. I still don't have a time locked down that he's going to come on. I spoke with him today on the phone, but didn't get a chance. I actually just got off the phone with him. The intro was playing for the show, and I was getting off the phone with him then. So, but I didn't get a chance to lock down a time exactly for that. So, as soon as I know, you will know. I'm going to try to find out for this, sometime either tonight or this weekend, so I can get a video out there so you all will know more details on that. So, the other thing, of course, as you already know, but I'm going to mention again because I can. Prepper Nurse 1 has a sale going on right now, 25% off. 25% off on legacy food products. So coupon code is Hurricane 2018, and it's up at the top if you forget, or if you don't know how to spell 2018. Anyway, just kidding. It's up at the top, 25% off, and that's a pretty incredible deal going on there. So probably a good idea if you're able to get in on that and jump in on some freeze-dried storage food. So anyway, didn't want to miss that today, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to go through the stuff or have my little chat. I think I'm going to have my little chat. There's like three things that are really on my mind. So one of them I've already mentioned was the duck. And then the other thing is today I may have, and I'm not going to go into any detail at all. I just have this thing about jinxing myself. Okay. So I don't want to jinx myself. But I do want to say that today I probably got, I would think, the second most important news I think I could hear in my life. Okay. Most important news would be that I'm going to see my kids. That would be the most important. This would probably be right next to it. And it has nothing to do with my kids, by the way, but this would this would be right next to it as far as, best things that could happen to me. So, don't want to go into a whole lot of detail on it. But it's a really good thing for me personally, and this is something that will indeed come through to the show as well. So, it has nothing to do with, I didn't win the lottery, we're not buying a studio, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Again, I'm trying to be, without saying it, I'm trying to, kind of give you an idea. It's me it's something for me personally. But it's something that will benefit not only me personally, but it will be a huge benefit for the show. It'll be a benefit for my entire life and those that are in my entire life. And I mean that. So absolutely incredible news. Now, if Jen says something, and I just want to say this real quick, if Jen says something in chat about what I'm talking about, that's perfectly fine. I just don't, I don't want to jinx myself in a recording, So anyway, good news. That is absolutely incredible, absolutely awesome, wonderful news. And I'm still not even, I still haven't grasped it yet, but at the same time, I'm being careful because this is something that is so big, so huge for me. so important to me. I don't want to get my hopes up and something fall through. Because God, have I had that way too many times in my life. So that's the good thing. So I've covered the ducks. I've covered that. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the financial stuff, run through the news. Then I've got a video that I'm going to show you, and then I'll finish up with my monologue / rant. I think the video is going to say about as much as needs to be said, to be honest. But anyway, let's run through this stuff real quick. We had another subscriber yesterday, and I think early this morning, but we lost them. So okay, I'm better. But we did go back up to $1.26. So apparently, we must be worth 7 cents more today than we were yesterday. So, but don't worry. There's enough days of the month left. They can get that down to 2 cents. Don't worry. So that's where we are. $1.26 on YouTube. Steemit. Let me, just for the heck of it, do a refresh. Pardon me. Okay, nothing new. Oh, there is something there to redeem. I don't know where it came from. Oh, wait, yeah, that was supposed to be. Okay, never mind. That was supposed to be in there now. I thought it was going to be a little bit later this evening. So, 10.153 Steam and 5.646 Steam dollars. So, good deal. Good deal. That's where we are on the Steam, and let's check AdSense. AdSense is at, let me refresh it too, because sometimes it changes from the time that I start. Yeah, it did. See, it changed. So $1.73 is where it's at right now. That brings the monthly total to $20.40. I'll go over as quick as I can what that is about. That is Google AdSense, the back end of it that you see there. That's where any funds from YouTube goes into, or say Google AdSense, which is what I'm talking about. We've got ads on our website. They're Google AdSense ads. And if you click on them, and that's all you got to do, you don't have to buy nothing or sign up anything or give them your email or nothing. All you have to do is click on the ad, and it will throw a little bit in Google AdSense. And then at the beginning of next month, well, whatever's here in this box will come over to the balance. And as soon as that balance reaches $100, which is the lowest threshold that you can have for AdSense, then they will send us the money, and we can use it for the show, or if we are in desperate need of something, or whatever the case may be. But typically we try to keep it just, for show stuff, for obvious reasons. But anyway, that's where it's at. Wow, that's incredible. So we're looking at, we're probably looking at least making it to $50 easily, I would think, and by the beginning of the month. So maybe within another 2 or 3 months, we might be able to withdraw again. So that will be awesome. Okay, so let me run through the news stuff real quick. And I've talked about this mass casualty incident reported at Table Rock Lake. That's there at the Ozarks. A tornado rips directly through town in Iowa. That was last night. Fatalities confirmed. There's going to be several for the ride the ducks, because as information was coming out, I was tweeting the new information. So, police launched big op in German city of Lubeck. Reports of 12 injured. I'm just reading it. Stop fingering me, bro. ACLU sues DC cop for alleged anal probe. And as I put on the tweet, remember the good old days when sex was safe and skydiving was dangerous. Back when we only had to worry about anal probes by aliens, right? Let's see. Farce. U.S. authorities trying to break Butina, says the Russian ambassador. Workable Brexit, strength of union, Irish border, May's speech in Northern Ireland. Trump says, I'm ready to put tariffs on $5 billion in Chinese imported goods. Russian Foreign Ministry summons Greek ambassador over anti-Russian statements. A blast hits oil depot in central Iran. Bach says IOC ready to resume Russia's membership in organization, help with reforms. I think that's a definite positive step. I think that's awesome. Charlie Rowley released from hospital after Amesbury incident. Israel launches massive air raid on Gaza. An extremist attempt to break through in Syria's Homs. So that is the news that I tweeted out throughout the day. And let's go ahead and get to this video. I don't think the video is very long. I watched it last night live, and I hadn't watched it again, even though I missed like the first little bit of it. I hadn't watched it again because it's not easy for me to sit through. It's a video of Ammon Bundy, and my God, it hits that rage center watching it. Okay, because there are some men in life that you don't ever want to see cry. Okay. And, you know, that's one of the, he's one of those people to me, right? I think of Ammon Bundy, and I'm not saying that men don't cry, heroes don't cry, or anything like that. But I'm just saying, when a hero cries, right? When a man's man cries, there's reason to be upset. And, you know, Ammon Bundy is definitely one of them at the top of that list that, you know, I just, God, but I'm just going to play the video. I think you guys will get the drift of it. Many of you may have already seen the video. Many of you may not. So this is from the Ammon Bundy Facebook page. So let me go ahead and get the video started.
So I just heard the news about Todd Engel being sentenced to 14 years, and I ask you, the American people, what are we to do? What is a person to do? When you see something wrong, you know it's wrong, you feel it's wrong, you've seen the evidence, you saw what the judge and the prosecutors have done to this man, and you know it's completely unjust. You know it's wrong. What do we do? Do we just allow these wicked men and women to trample upon our rights and to put our friends and neighbors in prison? Is that what we do? We just go home, go back to our TVs, whatever else it is we do, our phones, our happy places, and just try to forget that that's so unjust? But what are we to do? Judge Navarro knows very clearly that Todd Engel's trial was not a fair trial. She knows that. She has said that in open court, on record, twice. She has written it in a motion in response to the government's request to reconsider prosecuting us. The only reason Todd Engel and Greg Burleson were convicted of the charges that they were convicted of was because the jury was not able to hear the truth because the prosecutors withheld it. And the judge sustained it. She allowed the prosecutors to lie in her own courtroom. And the prosecutors were willing enough to do it. And Steve Myrie, you are a wicked man. Dan Sheesh, you are a wicked man. And Nadia Ahmed, you are a wicked woman. And Judge Navarro, shame on you. You are a wicked woman as well. That man will spend 14 years of his life in those prisons and who knows how many years in probation because of lies, manipulations, misrepresentations. And they're public. They're open. We know it. And yet you, Your Honor, have allowed this to happen. And then you sentence him to 14 years like nothing. You are a wicked, wicked woman. And what to do with you, I don't know. Maybe we all just go home and let Todd suffer through it, I guess. I don't even know what to say. What are we to do? What are our people to do? They come to steal our property, our livelihoods. A good man comes and stands with us peacefully. And then these very same people that come to steal our property and our liberties, threaten our lives, that they're going to kill us. Good men like Todd come to stand, and then these same men and women in their own little courts prosecute him and have taken already 2.5 years of his life away and now want to take the remainder of 14 years plus who knows how many years in probation, which is just complete tyranny. I don't know. The courts, the federal courts, have no jurisdictional power over these matters. And yet we just allow them to prosecute just like they're part of a state, just like they're part of the county. We just allow them to do that. Why do they do it? Because that's how they can enforce their will upon the people. Because without the power to yank people out of their homes, throw them in the prisons, and punish them for what these federal agents are saying is a crime, without that power, they have no power. And so they've had to get into the criminal prosecution business so that they can enforce their will upon the people. They have no business being in the prosecutory business. That judge has no authority, no jurisdiction over matters inside the state. Those were the checks and balances that were put upon those people and upon that branch of government to protect our rights. And we have allowed them to trample on them. We've allowed them to come into our states, into our counties, into our schools, into our homes. And now they're willing to enforce their will through these courts. It is a wicked and an unjust system. But what are we to do? What are our people to do? Are we just to stand by and let it happen? I can't even talk anymore about it. I just ask you, what are we to do as a people? And what am I to do as someone who knows very clearly and has seen very clearly what has happened? And know, without doubt in my mind and in my spirit and everything that's in me, I know it's wrong. But am I just to be quiet, to do nothing? So that's my question to you. What are our people to do?
Very good question. And, you know, I'm going to go right back to where I've gone I don't know how many times. And that's that we need to surround the state capitals and the federal capital. We need to surround them with just a blanket of people that refuse to leave. They refuse. I don't mean like the protesters that we see a lot of times that, you know, whose streets are streets? Whose streets are streets? Oh, you're running after me with a baton and mace? Okay, we'll run. And don't get me wrong, but what I'm getting at is, it boggles my mind, this whole protest game. Because that's what it is. It's a game. And it boggles my mind. You know, I'm one of those people that when you say something, you should stand behind it, right? So if I'm going to stand out there, and if I'm going to look at law enforcement officer or whatever in the eye and say, it doesn't have to be a law enforcement officer, it could be another citizen or whatever, and say, you know, whose streets? My streets, right? If I'm going to say that, I'm damn well not going to turn around and let him run me off that street. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to whoop some ass, right? That's the way it is. That's the way it should be, right? So tell me again, when protesters are out there saying, we demand these changes, we're going to, you know, you have to make these changes, you've got to do this, you've got to do this. Oh, I'm running. What did you accomplish? Nothing. Except you gave a bunch of people a lot of good laughs. That's all you accomplished. That's it. It's going to take more than that, folks. And it will get ugly. Believe me, if you don't think it'll get ugly, take a look at what's going on right now in our government and other governments across the world. If you don't think it's going to get ugly. Okay? And I'm talking about what I'm referring to is what's going on with say, Trump and this deep state and all that stuff like that. That is what I'm referring to. Okay? You see the ugliness that Trump is dealing with mainstream media and everything else, all simply because he's going against the grain, or at least it appears that he's going against the grain. Okay? So when we the people do that, right, at these state and federal capitals, when we the people do that, and we say, we aren't moving until you do, pack your shit and get the fuck out. They're not just going to say, okay. They're not going to. Before all is said and done, you're going to have the National Guard. You're going to have it's not going to be pretty. Not going to be pretty. But I think if people stood their ground to that level, I think if people grabbed their camping gear and headed to the state capital, state and federal capitals, I think with no intentions of leaving until they left, until they literally resigned, walked off. Like I said, it's, they're not just going to accept it right off. There's going to be a battle to be fought there. And I'm not saying it would necessarily get bloody or deadly. Bloody, yeah, probably, batons and whatnot. Deadly, I would hope not. But that's what it's going to take. All the people out there talking about change, well, that's what it's going to take for that change. I can't help that. All I can do is be honest with you about it. So more to the point, And Ammon's question is, I think my solution might help for that, as long as, or as well as maybe surrounding that courthouse with all those people refusing to leave until Navarro steps down, as an example. I'm telling you, folks, way back when I was trying to tell you that you had to really watch the different actors, quote unquote actors, that were involved in all of this, like Pete Santilli. Okay? I told you then what they were up to. I told you then that they were dividing the Patriots. That's what Pete's job is. If Pete isn't employed by the federal government, he's at least doing them a favor in lieu for his freedom. Gotta be. Gotta be. Because his minions, and other sheep leaders of the Patriot group, and I'm not calling all the Patriots sheep. I'm saying the sheep, because there are sheep in the Patriot group, obviously. You know, are causing so much damage in their division. It's unreal. And that's the intent, right? Because what the Bundys did was show us how to win. How to win constitutionally. And that is why they find, and when I say they, I mean the government, finds the Bundys and their ideals so destructive. Because it is destructive. It's destructive to their corruption. It's destructive to their theft, to their madness that they involve themselves in. It's very destructive to that. Freedom is completely destructive to evil. And it's like for a moment during that video, or at least a good part of that video, I could feel his heart. I can see the pain in his eyes. I have no doubt that there's probably a part of Ammon that feels remorse, feels responsible. I'm sure. That's a human thing. And I'm sure at the same time, he's got just absolute bursting frustration. Because many of those people that came and backed him and his family in Bunkerville, and again in Oregon, are too busy fighting amongst each other and picking out the stupidest little things to criticize each other about. And there are people that are still hurting from all of this mess. You know, I could see the remorse. I could see the frustration, which of course leads to the anger. As you could tell, you know, his eyes were red. He'd obviously been, I'm assuming, crying before he made the video. And I respect that, by the way. I want to point that out. That gives me a level of respect for a man, especially like that, that feels. I'm all about empathy, and, you know, I believe the Bundys are all about empathy as well. I really do. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done what they've done. I mean, I can't. It's one of those things you can't even add to it. You know, now the ball is in we the people's court. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I'm going to leave the monologue at that for tonight. Because I want that question to be the last thing that folks think when they listen to this monologue. That's the question. What do we do now? I want to thank those that watched the monologue. For those that watched the live show, hang on. We'll be continuing the live show. Thank you again to those that watched the monologue. As always, God bless you. We love you and be one with your spirit. Please pray. Please pray for the families involved in that horrific, tragic accident in the Ozarks last night.